Welcome to Champions Code. I'm your host, Kane Swift. Today on Champions Code, imagine battling the weight of the world, injuries, and personal tragedy, all while striving for Olympic gold. In today's episode, discover how Mia Hamm transformed crushing pressure into an unbreakable legacy, and learn how you, too, can turn your greatest challenges into your ultimate launchpad. In a dusty park in Florence, Italy, a toddler with metal braces on her feet did something that would change everything. Her name was Mia Hamm, and she was about to steal more than just a soccer ball. You might think this is just another sports story. It's not. This is a story about how the things that make you different are exactly what make you extraordinary. Picture her, barely 1 year old, moving with an awkward, determined waddle. The metallic clank of her corrective shoes echoes against stone pathways. Other children dart and play, but Mia's eyes lock onto a soccer ball. In one swift moment, she darts past a bewildered 5-year-old boy and snatches it away, tucking it under her arm like a hard-won trophy. This wasn't just childish defiance. This was a declaration. For Mia, the world was never a fixed point. As a military child, home was a constantly shifting concept. 1 month she'd be in Italy, the next in a new base across the United States. Friendships were temporary. Stability was a luxury she never knew. But soccer would become her constant. Born with a clubfoot, Mia's early years were defined by medical interventions. Corrective shoes, casts, doctor's appointments. Where other children ran freely, she navigated the world more carefully, each step a small rebellion against her physical limitations. But limitations, she would learn, are just challenges waiting to be transformed. This wasn't just a statement about soccer, it was her life philosophy. She deliberately chose to play with older kids, bigger kids, more skilled kids. Why? Because comfort was never her goal. Growth was. At 15, she became the youngest player on the U.S. national team. Surrounding her were women with years of experience, established careers, proven track records. Most would have been intimidated, not Mia. She called her intense emotional responses the curse, a volcanic inner landscape where every perceived failure triggered a massive reaction. You might have seen her breaking a water bottle in frustration on the sidelines. Others might have called it uncontrolled. She called it fuel. Have you been letting your failures define you, or are you using them to redefine yourself? At the University of North Carolina, Mia led her team to 4 consecutive NCAA championships, a feat that would remain unmatched. Her brother Garrett had died from aplastic anemia, a loss that carved a permanent wound in her heart. Instead of letting grief consume her, she transformed it. Her work ethic became a tribute, her success a memorial. She wasn't just playing for herself anymore. She was playing for something larger, for her brother, for every girl told she couldn't, for every limitation waiting to be shattered. The 1996 Olympics became her proving ground. Severe ankle injuries would have stopped most athletes. The pain etched across her face was visible in every match. But pain, for Mia, was just another opponent to be conquered. With each step, each play, she was redefining not just her own limits, but the limits society. If you're enjoying Champions Code, please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code for our free 7-day email course, The Champion's Edge. Learn the elite mindset of warriors like Jordan and Phelps to intelligently outperform. Now, back to the episode. The 1999 World Cup wasn't just a sporting event, it was a cultural earthquake. 76,000 people packed the stadium, the largest crowd ever for a women's sporting event. When Mia and her teammates took the field, they weren't just athletes, they were revolutionaries. Her face in that moment captured everything: exhaustion, determination, pure electric possibility. This wasn't about winning a game. This was about proving that women's sports mattered, that women's stories mattered. Nike didn't just sponsor Mia Hamm, they named an entire building after her. Think about that. A building, not a trophy, not a plaque. An entire structure dedicated to a woman who was told she was too small, too limited, too female to make a difference. But making a difference was precisely her superpower. Fame isn't light. It's a burden that crushes or transforms. For Mia, it was always about transformation. Her body bore the marks of her battles: constant injuries, endless rehabilitation, the physical toll of pushing beyond human limits. The media scrutinized every move. Expectations mounted with each game, each goal, each record shattered. Most would have buckled. She built a foundation. The Mia Hamm Foundation wasn't just a charity. It was a promise kept to her brother Garrett, a commitment to help bone marrow transplant patients, a way to turn personal loss into collective healing. The 2004 Olympics were bittersweet. Her body was breaking down, but her spirit remained unbroken. When her fellow Olympians chose her to carry the American flag during the closing ceremonies, it wasn't just an athletic honor. It was recognition of a movement she'd started. This wasn't just about soccer. This was about collective transformation. Look closely at your own life. Those things you see as weaknesses, the challenges that seem insurmountable, they're not obstacles, they're your launchpad. Mia went from a toddler with metal braces, constantly moving, never quite belonging, to becoming the face of women's soccer. Her limitations weren't liabilities. They were the rocket fuel of her success. Here's your challenge. What limitation are you allowing to define you? What perceived weakness are you letting hold you back? Mia's story isn't about soccer. It's about rewriting the rules, about demanding that nobody else gets to tell you what's possible, about transforming your most challenging experiences into your greatest strength. She didn't just play soccer, she rewrote the entire game. And now, it's your turn to pick up the ball. Your perceived weaknesses are not a burden. They are the precise ingredients of your unique genius. Embrace them, challenge them. Use them to redefine what everyone else thinks is impossible. The world is waiting for you to steal the ball and change everything. On the next episode of Champions Code, imagine a world where being different is your greatest strength. After witnessing Mia Hamm's incredible journey from an odd kid with a clubfoot to becoming a global soccer icon, you've seen how embracing one's uniqueness can lead to empowerment. But what if that journey was set against the backdrop of basketball courts instead? And what if this heroine had to shatter societal norms to achieve greatness? This week, we dive into the world of Lisa Leslie, another trailblazing female athlete who refused to be limited by expectations. Don't miss her inspiring story of defying odds and embracing individuality in a sport dominated by stereotypes. Please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code, or follow the pinned link to get our free 7-day email course, The Champion's Edge. 7 days, 7 champion habits. Train your mind like an Olympian and outmaneuver competitors while putting in less effort. Click the video that just popped up to watch the next one in this series. Or for episode summaries, behind-the-scenes info, and more, go to daily8.com/cc. Thanks for watching.